Hi friends, today we're going to do a fun craft based off of the story, The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. This maybe is a story that you have read or you have had read to you before, but it's all about a little raccoon named Chester who is worried about missing his mom when he goes off to school. So his mom teaches him a special secret of the kissing hand. She takes his little hand and kisses it. And she tells him that anytime he feels lonely for her at school, he can just take his kissing hand, put it on his cheek, and feel how much his mommy loves him. So what we're going to do today, boys and girls, is we're going to make our own kissing hand craft. Just going to set this book right here in the back. There we go. So what you need to make this craft is you need a pair of scissors. I have grown-up scissors, but if you have kid scissors at home, you can use those. You need glue, either glue stick, or you could use bottle glue if you have it. Or if you don't have any glue at your house, you could use tape, just something to make paper stick together. And a pencil or a marker or a crayon or a pen, something you can write and draw with. I'm using this marker so that we'll be able to see what Miss Doty draws nice and clearly. And then 2 pieces of paper. Now I have 2 pieces of construction paper. 1 piece is red and 1 piece is yellow, but you could use any color construction paper that you'd like. Or if you don't have any construction paper, you could use printer paper from the computer, or you could use notebook paper, or if there's scrap paper in your house, you can flip it over and you can use the blank side of it. So just 2 pieces of paper, whatever you have ready. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 piece of paper, okay? I'm going to pick the yellow because I want this to be my hand, okay? We're gonna make our hand first. So I picked yellow because that's kind of sort of my skin color, kind of. So what you're gonna do is you're going to take your paper and then you're going to take your hand and you're going to fan it out just like Chester's mommy did to his hand, and you're going to put it on the paper. Now my hand is very big, so it takes up most of the paper, but your hand probably won't take up quite so much room. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your pencil or whatever you have to write with, and you're going to trace the outside of your hand. All right, let me show you. Here, I'm going to put my hand, fan it out, and then I'm going to trace around it. I'm going to start at the bottom and then go up over my thumb, and then I'm going to go up my pointer finger and down, and then up my middle finger and then down, and then up my ring finger and then down, and up my pinky finger and then down to the bottom of my wrist. So do you see how I traced around? You can kind of see the black that I did there. All right. Then I'm going to take my hand off and see, I have an outline of my hand. Now, it's not 100% perfect. It's a little wibbly wobbly in spots. That's okay. You made a little mistake, and when you take your hand off, you want to kind of erase something and maybe make a line better, or if you want to go back and you want to retrace everything to make it darker, that is a-okay. And you'll see here at the part where your wrist was, it's open. What you're going to do is you're going to take your pencil or whatever you were writing with, and you're just going to close that off. And you've made a hand. So cool. Now, after you make your hand, what you're going to do is you're going to just take your hand piece of paper and set it to the side. Just going to set it off to the side. Now you're going to take your second piece of paper. You're going to take the piece of paper that you are going to make your heart out of. I picked red to make my heart out of it. All right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper and you're going to hamburger fold it. Hamburger fold it is like this, where it looks like a hamburger bun, not hot dog fold where it looks like a hot dog bun like this. Not like this. We want to hamburger fold it like this. So you're just going to take your paper and bend it up like this. And then you're going to just do your very, very best to line up the edges with the paper. Okay, just do your best. It's not going to be perfect because we're not computers or robots, we're people. And then once you line it up your very best, then you're just going to kind of press it like this. See how Miss Doty did? Have it pressed like that. You can kind of maybe press it a little bit more. And you'll have something, it looks a little bit like a book. It's got a side that you open, and then it's got the side that's folded. Now, boys and girls, for our next step, it is super duper duper important that you pay close attention and you do this on the side I tell you to do it. If you don't draw what we're about to draw on the correct side, then oops, you will make a mistake and you'll have to try again. So pay close attention. If you do make a mistake and have to try again, that's okay, but let's pay attention. So I've got the open side and then I've got the folded side. On the folded side, the side where you touch it and the paper is connected, I'm going to draw half a heart. Now maybe some of you have done this before, okay? So on the folded side, I'm going to draw half a heart. Now, this heart is going to go on my kissing hand. So I'm going to think about how big my kissing hand that I drew was. My hand is a pretty big hand, so my hand could fit a pretty big heart on it. Your hands are probably pretty small hands, so you need to draw smaller hearts, all right? So I'm going to take my pencil or whatever I was using to write with, and on the folded side, I'm going to make a little half a heart, like that. Just the half of a heart, where I start there and then I go whoop, like that. Now, that doesn't look very much like a heart right now, but it will when we do our next step. This is kind of a cool trick. Some of you might know about this already from maybe a craft you made at Valentine's Day, but some of you might not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and very, very, very carefully, being very careful with my scissors, I'm going to take them and I'm going to, keeping my heart paper folded, I'm not going to open it back up. I'm going to keep it folded like a book, and I'm going to cut out my heart. I'm going to cut out here on the line. Just, again, doing my very best. When you finish it out, you've got some scrap paper here. You can just set that to the side. Maybe you can use that for another fun art project later. And you should have something that looks like this, okay? What you can do, boys and girls, is when you open it up, you made a heart. You made a heart, so cool. So you're gonna take your heart and you're just gonna set it off to the side someplace safe because we're gonna need it in a little bit. Then I'm gonna go back to my hand paper. And doing my very best job, I'm going to cut out my hand. Now, hands are a little bit tricky to cut out, so it's okay if it's not all the way perfect or if there's a little extra space around it. Do you see how I'm cutting and there's a little extra space around where I drew my hand? That is okay. So I'm just going to do my very best job. See, I'm cutting carefully. I'm going down in between the fingers. I'm going back up. Again, I'm just doing my very best. If I make a mistake, it's okay. I'm just going to keep going. Got one more finger left. We have 5 fingers. Oh, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. And I'm done. So I'm going to set the scissors someplace safe where nobody's going to accidentally step on them or bump into them. I've got my scrap paper, see, where I cut my hand out. And I'm just going to put that to the side with my heart scrap paper. Okay, we can use them again to do another art project, or you can recycle them. All right, I'm just going to set these off to the side. So what I have is I've got my hand and I've got my heart. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand. You'll see that the marks from the pencil, the marker that I used to draw my hand, are on this side. And it looks a little bit yucky, a little bit messy. So what I'm going to do to make it look not messy, so I'm gonna flip. Guess what? On the other side, you don't see any pencil marks at all. So this is the side that I want everyone to see for my kissing hand craft. All right, so I've got it flipped. So the very nice, clean craft side is facing up. And I'm just gonna set this down for a moment, and I'm going to pick up my heart. Again, you see that on one part of my heart, there's the marker line from where I drew it. What do you think I'm gonna do so it looks very neat and cute and not a little bit yucky and messy? I'm gonna flip it. Yes, so now we've got this heart here. So what I'm going to do, boys and girls, is I'm gonna take my hand on the very nice, neat side, and I'm gonna take my heart, and the very nice, neat side is facing out. All right, and what I'm going to do is, using my glue or tape, if you have tape, we will be gluing the heart in the middle of our hand. Now, if you made your heart a little bit too big and it doesn't quite fit on your hand, that's okay. Let me show you a way to fix it. You could do a whole nother hand if you wanted, or a whole nother heart if you wanted, using the paper that you have. Or you could take your heart and you could just make it smaller. So I would just refold it, and I would just take my scissors and just make it a little bit smaller. Just cutting, again, the same shape, but making it a little bit smaller. There we go. And then you've got a little trash there that you could recycle. Make sure you're cleaning up after yourself. And then I have a little bit smaller of a heart that I can use. So I'm going to take my glue stick, but you can use bottle glue, or if you have tape, you can use that too. And I'm going to put glue on the yucky side of the heart, the side of the heart where I can see the pencil marks that I make. So I'm going to just put some glue on the yucky side of the heart where you can see the pencil marks that I made. All right, so see, I have the glue on the yucky side. Then I'm gonna make sure the nice side of my hand is facing front. The yucky is on the back and the nice is on the front. And I'm gonna take my heart, I'm gonna put it in the middle of my hand, just like Chester's mom put her kiss in the middle of his palm. and I'm gonna press it down. And now I have a kissing hand, just like the hand in the story. And what I can do on this, boys and girls, is I can take this craft, and I could leave it like this if I wanted to, or I could write the name of someone I love, someone in your family or a friend, and I could write my name and their name. So my name is Miss Doty. So on top, above the heart, I'm going to write my name. Okay? So right there on top of the heart, Miss Doty. And then we have heart, the heart, which is a symbol for love. So Miss Doty loves. And then down here, I'm going to write the name of somebody that I love and somebody that I may be missing right now because I'm not able to see them. I love my grandpa, and I haven't been able to see him for a while. So I'm going to put my grandpa's name on the kissing hand. So I'm going to write Grandpa. So now I have a kissing hand that says Miss Doty loves Grandpa. And what I could do is I could take a picture of this and I could text it or I could email it to my grandpa, or I could get an envelope and put the kissing hand inside of it, and I could have my mom, you could have your mom or dad help you mail it to the person that you're making the craft for. Or you could make the craft for someone in your house who's living with you that you love very much. So now we've made our very own kissing hands for somebody that we love and miss, just like Chester Raccoon. I hope you had a really fun time doing this craft. I know I did. Make sure, boys and girls, that you clean up after yourself when you've finished, that you take any extra leftover paper and you use it to do another art project, or you put it in the recycling bin or the garbage. Make sure you put the scissors back somewhere safe. Make sure you put the glue or the tape back somewhere safe. And you put your markers or any coloring supplies that you had and put it somewhere safe. All right. And then you can share your kissing hand. Talk to you later.